If you ever had a second chance, you better be thankful. If you ever had a second time around,
man, I've been through it, I lost out and I'm faced with defines wrong. Feel no hope, bad thoughts choosing to die, go home. When I was sitting up on that Greyhound, my mind went through these zones like you got none. Lost everything, is no good, feeling alone. Hey, pockets had no dollars, life didn't make sense. How did I end up back where I started, what did I miss? I went from condos to Pop's house, on calls, now bus routes. And the one person who had the key to my heart took it and checked out.
What up, it's your boy Paul P. I serve God, I'm not God. This is just my opinion. And welcome to another episode of the Nothin to Somethin podcast. Man, I got a special one for all of you. Today, I promise you I got a special one. Today, I am sitting here with a man who is a legendary actor. That is one of the best actors to me of all time that come from our culture. You know what I'm saying? Played in some of the greatest movies in our community like The Wood, Get on the Bus, Sunset Park, Lockdown, Tales from the Hood, and many more. Oh, I left out Snowfall. I can't leave out Snowfall. We have today the one and only DeAndre Bonds. What up, brother?
What it do, my brother? How you doing, man?
I'm good. How about you, man?
Man, I'm blessed. I ain't complaining about nothing, man. You know, God is the greatest.
Yes, sir. That's what's up.
Appreciate you for having me on here.
Man, appreciate you for being here, man. Like I said, to us, man, where we come from, you a legend. We grew up watching you. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing, man. So you inspired a lot of us, man. You definitely inspired a lot of us, so we definitely appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? So,
yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate y'all as well, man. You know, all my people that support me, man. Without y'all, I ain't nothing. You already know.
Man, that's what's
humbling. It's very humbling, and you know, it's what I dreamt of doing, and I'm able to fulfill it. You know, and I'm grateful for it. I'm taking advantage of it,
man. That's what's up. So this is your first time here on the Nothin to Somethin podcast. We like to get your Nothin to Somethin story. So with that being said, let's start from the beginning. So you from LA, right? South Central?
Born and raised, Los Angeles, California, South Central.
Okay.
As they used to call it, now it's just South LA.
Yeah.
On the east side, you know, like Avalon and 80th, and then I stayed on the west side, went to Roosevelt, 52nd and John Muir Junior High. I stayed in like 56 between Hoover and Vermont. Like, I grew up a little bit everywhere, man.
Yeah.
Compton, LA, Inglewood. I was born in St. Nellis, so it's like, man, I done touched all over LA.
That's
all over Inglewood, Watts, Compton. That's my home, man. You know, I'm a native.
That's what's up. I mean, not too far from, you know, I grew up in Watts, so it was right down the street from you, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And
everything, you know? So, and you said Inglewood as well. I just want to kind of point that out. I went to Watts, but we went to school in Inglewood, you know?
Yeah.
So I remember when, you know, The Wood came out, you know, it was like a lot of like, I was like, I can relate, you know what I'm saying, in somewhat, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you from there.
That area,
yeah. Me as well, you know. I don't really say I'm from LA, Inglewood, Watts, Compton. I'm from all of them. You know what I mean?
Real talk.
All my homes.
Yeah.
All of my homes.
Yeah, that's what's up. So what was it like growing up in the South Central area, you know, as a kid?
It was rough, man. It was a little tough, you know. However, it wasn't more than we could bear. It wasn't more than I can bear, you know what I mean? So it was challenging. At the same time, it was a blessing because, you know, it was about family. It was more about family than anything. And my family was together, even though we had it hard. We uplifted one another and held each other's, had each other's back. So it was, you know, I had the gangs, had the shootings and the drive-bys. I went through a lot of that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't more than, like I said, than we could bear. And God was always with us, so he had a hedge of protection around us. And, you know, I could see that now, looking back.
Yeah. That's a blessing. That's a big blessing. Did you grow up with both parents in the household?
Just I had my mother. My father was kind of absent, but later on, he came into my life, you know, when I was around 13, 14. Okay. He took me with him, and I got to spend about 3 or 4 years with my dad and learn, you know, the man aspect of my father. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of just my mother raising me, I got what I needed from my dad that he was able to instill in me that I needed, but I didn't recognize at the time. But that time that I did spend with him was something that was amazing, beautiful, and he taught me how to be a man in 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Wow, that's big. That shows us, man, in our community how important it is to have, you know, a father, you know, Absolutely. Both parents, you know, because a lot of us was raised by our single mothers, you know, and we don't understand how important it is. But I'm glad you point that out. You explain like, hey, that was very important to have my father in my life for those last 3 years, you know.
And I didn't even understand it at that time. I was kind of afraid of my dad because I never really knew him. And the stories I heard was from my mother. And, you know, but once I was with my dad and I learned hands-on from him, man, it's something that I needed. I couldn't be who I am right now if it wasn't for that time period that I had with him. Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. What about siblings? You had any brothers or sisters?
I have 5 sisters and 2 brothers, and I'm the oldest.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
You the oldest, so you the leader. So they like, what DeAndre doing?
Yeah, I'm the statesman, the eldest statesman.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know, that was a blessing as well, you know. And we all together, we all in one another's lives right now. God, like I said, we've always had a head of protection around us from God, man. And you know, everything is in His hands, and it happens for a reason, man.
Yeah, real talk. Yeah. Now, growing up, you know, in LA and in a lot of unprivileged, you know, areas and everything like that, what was it that stood out to you as a kid that made you like recognize like, I'm not in a place to where it's you know, like Beverly Hills. This is not a glamorous area that I'm in a place that I'm in. Did you go through anything that kind of like showed you that, okay, it's kind of rough out here?
Well, my mother was addicted to drugs back in them days, which a lot of our people were. And that was one of the eye-opening things to show me that this is, you know, a little rough. And I had to step up and be a man at an early age and take care of my siblings, you know, because mom's wasn't mentally able to, you know what I mean? And she was going through some things herself that I couldn't understand at that time. But now looking back, I know what it was, and I know what it, you know, she was going through. But thank God that He instilled in me a will and a drive to do something. So I pumped gas, I sold candy, I did whatever I had to do to make sure we had food on the table, even if it was noodles. And that's what, you know, it mainly was, noodles, hot dogs, and you know what I mean? That's what we was raised on.
Yeah.
You know, man, that was just all a learning experience, and God was instilling something in me at that time that I needed to be who I am now, and to have all the emotions that I could tap into because of all the things that I've been through to express myself when I'm acting. I know how to tap into what I've been through, what I've seen, what I've grown up and conquered. Wow. You know what I mean? So it's all for a reason, man, and you know.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. And I was thinking back when you said like the hot dogs and the noodles. I was like, well, we used to cut the hot dogs up and put them in the noodles. You know, growing up, bro. I never forget that. You know, man, doing those things. You know what I'm saying? As a kid,
you
know.
Knock noodles back. I love noodles, man.
Well, beef, chili, what?
Beef, chicken, chili, all of it, man. Except pork. But anyway, you know what I mean?
Mess with the pork.
Yeah, man, you know, I got a saying, I hope you niggas don't unfollow me for this. And it's been going viral, and I got the spread on the back of the shirts. I've been selling T-shirts and, you know, clothing items with that on it.
Yeah.
People been buying them, and man, and supporting, and, you know, it's just, making something out of nothing, really.
Man, that's dope. That's dope. That's what I'm talking about, man. Now, I know eventually when you was younger, you ended up going to, you know, group homes and foster homes for a little bit as a young child. What kind of like led to that? And how was that experience?
Well, my mother, like I was saying, she was addicted to drugs when I was growing up. So the foster system got a hold of us and took us from my mother and told her either she get her stuff right or don't expect us back. So my mother checked herself in the program and she got her life together. It took her about 2 years to complete. But in the meantime, in between time, we were separated and placed in different foster homes, my sisters and I, you know what I mean? And but the amazing part about that is what my mother did and what she felt that was more important than anything, which was us and what she needed to do to get us back. And she did that. So, you know, I was in foster homes, group homes, but it brought us closer as a family, and it showed me just the resilience and the strength my mother possessed and that she had.
Yeah.
And, you know, it motivated, man. It was something that, you know, like I said, we had to go through, didn't understand why at the time, but looking back now, I know why. Man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And I know eventually a little bit, you know, after the group home situation, you went to an all-boys youth center for a little bit, right?
In Long Beach Youth Center, man. All 40-man group home. Man. And that was wild. We was in there fighting and tearing it up. Man,
that wasn't YA, was it?
It wasn't far off. It wasn't YA though, because YA is a whole nother monster, bro.
Yeah.
But this was more of a you know, this is young, wild youth with testosterone, you know, going at it, you know, growing up and wilding, man. But, you know, we had fun. We went out on trips. You know, we had group leaders, we had leaders, members, and depending on your status, you make money, you get to go, you know, we go out every weekend to the malls or whatever if you was on like a good status. If you was on like some punishment things, you wasn't going nowhere. If you wasn't doing right in the group home or you wasn't, you know, showing progress, then, you know, you stay stuck. Man. You don't grow. Yeah, but, you know, it wasn't something that I would have picked myself, but, you know, God know better.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the man you are today because of what you went through and everything. So, you know what I'm saying? So
yes,
now during this time when you was going through the group homes and the boys' homes and everything like that, you didn't really get involved in the gangs, you know, ever, right?
No, I never banged. I never got involved in gangs. You know, I had family members that were in gangs, the majority of them. And I seen what the gang life was like and what it was doing and what it wasn't doing. You know, I was like, what is so... You know, why do I want 3-4 dudes to beat my ass to help me make their gang stronger? You know, I don't like ass whoopings. Excuse my language, you know what I mean? But I'd rather, you know what I mean? I'd rather just, if we gonna fight, we you know, I had a lot of fights too growing up.
Yeah.
South Central, you know, and all these gangs, I had to fight this, but I held my ground. I never banged, never wanted to. What kept me busy was selling candy, pumping gas, and, you know, having to be there for my family, for my mother and my siblings, man.
Yeah.
And that's what kept me out the streets.
Man,
and I'm thankful that I never did that.
That's a blessing. Did you ever, like, get asked to join any gangs when you was out there?
Absolutely, man. I done had dudes knock on my door, tell my mama, tell your son to come on out of here and whoop whop, and I gotta go out there and fight, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To not be in the gang. One dude told me if I wasn't a part of his gang, you know, if I didn't become a blood, he was gonna kill me. Excuse me. On my mama, he told me that. And I was like, damn, he's like, I didn't know what to do. I'm scared in the mug now, because this was a G dude. from his hood. And for him to tell me that, and I've been living over in that area for years, it kind of shook me up a little bit, but he never, came at me or did nothing like that.
Yeah.
Thank God. But yeah, man, it was tough. It was rough. But it wasn't more than I can bear.
Man, that's a blessing. That's a blessing. Speaking of gangs, while we're on it, being so connected to LA the way you are and everything like that, what type of effect did it have on you when, someone so important as someone like Nip, who's from our community, was murdered by Eric Holder? Like, what type of effect did that have on you? And did you know Nip personally?
I never had the opportunity to meet Nip. However, I knew him because I love his music, and he was just something else, something better and different. And man, that affected me in a weird way. It was kind of like when I heard the news about Nip, man, it hurt, man. I cried and everything, bro. This shit, like I knew him. You know what I mean? Like in my heart, it touched me like when Pac passed, bro. Yeah. It was that powerful. And cause the brother was on a whole nother level as far as, his thinking, his mission, what he was doing for us as a whole, and the blueprint he was showing us. You know what I mean? That was just something different, man. You don't have too many brothers. You really don't have too many brothers that think that way and are that way.
Yeah.
And that brother, he held it and did what he was supposed to do, and it's a tragic loss, man, for us. And I don't even know the other dude. I don't even want to say his name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel you on that. Definitely. And I'm gonna ask this because I think that when it come down to like our community, a different message should be put out there. You know what I'm saying? Along the lines of people doing things for the betterment, of a situation. But a lot of people got on one of Nip's close friends, which was a Cowboy, for taking a stand and letting people know what happened.
Yeah.
During that whole situation. With someone doing something like that and knowing in our community we, is big on don't be a snitch. Like, what are your thoughts from somebody taking a stand like the way he did? Do you look at that as a snitch thing, or as a thing that, more of us need to do more of things like that when situations like that happen?
I don't necessarily have too much insight on what Cowboy supposedly did or got on the stand and said, so I really can't speak on that. However, I just think we need to, as a people, man, just support our people, man. The truth is the truth, and condemn liars, man, no matter who it is or where it's coming from. If you right, you right. If you wrong, you wrong, man. And as far as snitching is concerned, or telling and all that, man, I think everything has its time and place. Not necessarily, condoning anything, but if you wrong, you wrong. And if your people, if you got a hood and they come together and you hollering at your people and letting them know the shortcomings and the failures, then it should be handled. It's like in prison. When I was in prison, bro, it was like black people are for black people. No matter what set you from, what gang you from. You know what I mean? They got their different sects and cliques and things like that. But you mess with one black, you messing with all of them. And if you do some wrong, dumb stuff, and you a black man, you gonna get dealt with. You get a warning. Yeah. They gonna give you a warning, but after that, it's destruction.
Yeah.
And I think that was more powerful than anything, because it held everybody to you have a responsibility, and you gotta take care of that, face that, or be dealt with.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way it should be, even out here. You know what I mean? If a motherfucker wrong and they doing something wrong, we as a whole people should come together and get it straightened out, take care of it, nip it in the bud, and keep pushing.
Man.
And build. And and assist one another and help one another to grow, so we can have more and we can take care of our people, because it's about us, man, as a whole. We can't grow, we can't live, we won't have anything if we don't come together. Period.
Real talk. I mean, you couldn't have explained that any better, you know.
Sir.
You know, we also had another situation not too far from where me and you grew up, man, at the Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, you know, PNB Rock, you know, who also was murdered and lost his life, man. When that first happened, what was it, you know, you from over there, so like what came to your head when you first heard of that situation?
I never I heard of PNB Rock because of that situation. I never was familiar with him before that. However, after I heard of that, it was shocking, man, because I go to that Roscoe's. I sit in that Roscoe's on Main. And, you know what I mean? And it's like, and I think it's Florence or Manchester. Yeah, man. And I'd have been in there many times, man, by myself, with my people, and never been accosted or approached, and you know, people see me, they respect, and so it was shocking to learn that somebody would do that, bro. You know what I mean? And it's just terrible, man. That shit crazy. We losing all our people, youthful, talented black men, and it's for nothing. For nothing. And it's terrible, man. We gotta wake the fuck up, man.
I mean, also too, because you say you was over there. I mean, I'm pretty sure, like, even though it ain't right, but I know you didn't have $100,000 worth of jewelry. You know, we know better, kind of like when we come from out here. But
I wouldn't. Even with that, I don't even think the brother was thinking. PNB Rock wasn't really thinking about that. He just want to have some food. He rocking his. He earned it. He did what he's supposed to do. And I feel he should have the right to wear his shit wherever he want to go, and because that's his, man. Until you get up and get out and get on your and make your own, because everybody got the potential to have whatever they want, if they want it. And you could tell the people that want it, because they utilize their time and their talent, and they dedicating themselves to what they believe in, and then it's manifesting, and they're having the fruits of their labor. So a brother should be able to rock whatever he want to rock, man. And not be worried about somebody snake ass coming up and trying to rob you or kill you over a chain, over some chains, some diamonds. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, that shit crazy, man.
Man, real talk. Hey, you know, rest in peace, PNB, man.
Rest
you know,
in peace.
definitely, and Nip, you know. So
Real life.
Now going back to your story, and you mentioned it earlier. One of the things that kept you off of the streets was going out there and like selling candy in suburban neighborhoods and everything. You know, what got you into doing that? You know, like what would make you think that, and what got you into doing that?
Well, when I was I went to Roosevelt Middle School in Compton. I stayed on Atlantic Drive, and I was around 12, 13. And they were passing out flyers after school. And it was a candy crew saying you could make so much money a day. And I was like, oh, I want to try this. And I called them up, and they came and picked me up, and you know, I was traveling and making money, and it just opened up a whole nother avenue for me. I didn't have to sell candy. I mean, I didn't have to pump gas no more. You know what I mean? I was making more than $20 a day now.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it's just something I stuck with. Once I learned the game, I just started jumping on the bus and going to Hollywood from LA on my own and keeping all my money. You know, I'd go to the 99-cent store and buy some candy and sell it on Sunset. That's how I met my agent, selling candy up and down. I used to go in her office every day. She never bought no candy. However, one day, you know, I heard her talking about a commercial, and I over the phone. And once she got phone, I inquired, you know, you do commercials? Or she's like, no, I'm an agent. I represent actors that do commercials. I was like, what? You're an agent? everybody was telling me. I met Martin, Tupac, everybody selling candy, Chubb Rock, Dionne Ward. I used to meet so many stars and wonder, how can I get involved? And they said, you need an agent. You need an agent. I didn't know what an agent was. And then I all the time, I'm trying to sell candy to one.
Wow.
She never bought none, but me staying resilient and going in there trying, even though I knew she wasn't gonna buy none, opened up another avenue for me to get to know her and her to get to know me. And I told her that was my dream, to be an actor, Mimi Meyer and Angel City Talent, and she gave me opportunity, man, and I took advantage of it. My first audition, South of Sunset with Ari Spears, I booked the part.
Man,
Man,
dope.
I was like, I ain't looking back.
It's over, huh? Yeah. I mean, and briefly speaking about Tupac, you know, I read kind of like a story where I guess you cussed him out or something like that because he didn't buy candy or something. Like, what's like the story that happened with that?
I was trying to sell Pac some candy. He was at a tattoo parlor that they used to have on Sunset that was right across from the Comedy Store.
Okay.
And you know, I see Pac, I'm like, man, I'm selling candy. He like, I don't want no candy. I was like, well, I could rap. And he was like, man, I already got a rap group. I was like, fuck you then. And he laughed, bro. He just broke out laughing like this little wild child. But, you know, it was just, I didn't know who Tupac at that time wasn't the Tupac he became later on. He was, you know, he was known for round and round, round we go. Okay. The underground just, and that was his main song that was playing. So people were getting to know him.
Yeah.
And, you know, man, it was just something. I was a young wildcat and, you know, just growing, man. Pac laughed it off. And next time I saw him was at the premiere Sunset Park. And he was on the soundtrack. And
did he remember, like, that situation?
You know what? I think he didn't remember that, but I know he knew who I was from the movie because he let me in the circle. Okay. He had his bodyguards and everything, so nobody couldn't just walk up on him. But he let me and my mother come in. He gave my mother a hug, and, you know, I just told him, man, nigga, love you, man, and keep your head up. You know, he had just got out the pen, signed with Death Row and doing all that, so. And he had this look in his eyes, like a far away look, like he wasn't happy, bro. Like, the situation he was in, and I don't think he was happy.
Wow.
But, you know.
Wow. Man, that's another one, man. Another great. Rest in peace to Pac, man.
Peace, Pac.
For real, for real.
Life, bro.
Yeah.
That was my mentor. He still is.
Man.
He's my favorite artist, him and then Nip.
Yeah.
Real
That's
life.
crazy, you know. So yeah, definitely Nip, you know, Pac, you know.
Man.
We on the West Coast, man, so you already know what it is, man.
Got to.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, real talk. But while you were selling candy, you had a better experience with Martin, because you met Martin and you know what I'm saying? So what's the situation that happened with Martin?
He was in front of the Comedy Store, and I was selling candy. 'Cause I used to frequent Sunset. That was my hustling ground, from Tower Records all the way down to like, what was this? The Coconut Teaser. You know what I mean? This old club.
Okay.
Yeah. There, but just up and down Sunset, man. And I saw Martin. I was like, he was going into the comedy club to perform. And I was like, man, you want to buy some candy? He's like, how much is the candy? I was like, each item is $5. And he was like, well, look, man, I don't want no candy. But he bought my whole box and said resell it. He gave me like $100.
Wow.
And was like, resell it. And that's what I did. I was happy. I was thankful, you know, because you be out there grinding, man, and you just looking for a little support, you know, somebody to, you know, see you doing something different than what you could be doing that's negative. Yeah. And, you know, Martin invited me in, bro, into the club. I was about 16. Wow. And I wasn't supposed to be in there, you know what I mean? Set me in the back, bought me a 7-Up, and let me watch his whole performance, bro. And it was so fun. It was amazing. It was inspiring. It was motivational. And after he was done, he told the people in there, "You little dude in the back, he's selling candy."
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Wow.
Y'all see him out there, y'all support him. And, man, I had a line of people when it was at, man, I sold all the candy he told me to keep and resell.
Yeah.
And got so much donations, man, I left after that. I was good. Yeah, man.
Wow,
He,
man.
Real good brother, man. Real down to earth and, you know, humble. Yeah.
Man, you was bound to make it, man. You was around all the celebrities, you know. You was meeting the biggest stars that everybody know, especially from our culture. Like, you was bound to make it, and that's why I always tell people, man, you are who you around. You know, the surroundings you put yourself around, that's who you're gonna become.
True.
And look who you became from being around all the celebrities.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying, and everything like that, man. So
that's true. Show me the company you keep, and I'll show you your future or something.
Ooh.
You know what I'm talking about?
Bars.
Your life, man.
Yeah,
See your friends, and I tell you your future.
Yeah.
So the people that you associate with, that you hang around, that you know, give your energy and dedicate your time with, man, 9 times out of 10, you gonna either, if you were millionaires, you gonna be a millionaire. If
facts.
you was murderers and robbers, you gonna be a murderer or robber. Period.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's no way around it because you're practicing that. You're lending your will, your energy, your life to something, and it all has a power and a purpose. It's up to you though. How do you see yourself? How do you see yourself? Man, I knew I was gonna be in movies. I said it when I was young. That was my dream. I said, I'm gonna be in movies.
Yeah.
I don't know how, because I didn't know what an agent was. I didn't know how they got in movies, but I knew I was. And I spoke it. And I said it. And I used to tell people that. And they laugh at me, the homies and all that. You ain't gonna be all right. Be damned if I didn't.
That's real talk.
Yes, sir.
Dope. So, you know, you got with your agent and everything like that, you know, met her out there selling candy, and now you going into that direction. Now, did you have any acting skills, you know, before getting none at all?
Never been to acting class or had any kind of formal training. It was just something that was in me. It's something natural. And all the things that I've endured and experienced growing up, like, was something that I didn't know at that time that I would be able to utilize or that I would need in order to, you know. But everything everything has a purpose, man. That's all I can say on that, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Your story is a story to where it got to make people straight believe no matter what the hell they going through. Because you know what I'm saying? People would think, you know, especially when they see you act, people would think like, wow, he's had a lot of acting, you know what I'm saying? You know, teaching and everything like that growing up, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, like you said, I didn't have, it's just what I wanted to do.
Me, man.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Dope.
Thank God for that, man.
Yeah. So as you got started and everything like that, what were some of the first roles that you know, from the beginning, like once your agent, you know, got going with your agent, what were some of the roles she got you into?
I did, like I said, the very first one was South of Sunset.
Okay.
With Ari Spears, and I did the Robin Hood Men in Tight commercial. We're men in tights. It was an old commercial for a movie called Men in Tights, and it had like, you know, different people, you know, I was a gang member singing that. But you know, man, Tales from the Hood was my first movie, you know what I mean? And once I booked that, I was just totally shocked and amazed and grateful. I was happy. I was like, I can't believe this shit. I'm finna be in a movie, and I never looked back, bro. Tales from the Hood, I did, and I just kept going.
Yeah, and just to speak on Tales from the Hood for a second, man, that was a straight classic, especially you know, where we come from and everything like that. I remember it was one part in the movie, my auntie, she would always play when we were kids to try to like scare us, to have us, you know what I'm saying, get in line and everything like that. But she would play this one part, man, on Tales from the Hood, man. But when you got that role, like, what was that like? Like, this your first movie, you know, and everything
it was amazing.
And you was what, 16?
I was around 17.
17, you know, how did that feel? You know, you now on a big movie, you know, coming from where you come from.
It was everything that I wanted. It was like my dreams are aligning and coming to fruition. And I remember we was my brother Lamont Bentley, rest in peace. That was my best friend ever, man. One of the greatest men I ever met. We were in a trailer getting makeup and hair and things like that. And I was so amazed that I'm in a movie that I blurted out, it's gonna be a gang of hoes at this premiere, huh? And it was nothing but women in the thing, in the trailer. So Lamont looked at me like, man, look, man, what's wrong with you? I was like, oh, my bad, excuse me. But yeah, it was exciting, man. It was a dream come true. Red carpet, limousines, took my mom, my best friend, and we just had a ball, man. We partied all night. I saw myself on that silver screen, and it just bit me and woke me up, and it was like, man, I'm this is what I'm doing from here on out.
Dope. Yeah. And it did not stop there, because then you did Get on the Bus, and then you did Sunset Park, which was a movie I remember when I was in 6th grade playing basketball. Our coach would have us always watch and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? So
Sunset Park.
Yeah.
Danny DeVito, Rhea Perlman.
Man, what was Sunset Park like? You know, getting on that movie and everything.
With all of, man, it was so fun, man. It was like I'm working with Fredro Starr from Onyx, and you know. It just all the actors, bro, that I was growing up, and they was rappers as well. Yeah. And man, just traveling, first time flying in my life, go to New York. We stay out there in the World Trade Center for like, I'm living in the World Trade Center, man. It was crazy, you know what I mean? And, making movies, man, all the women and the girls in the movie, it was all on you, and cause you know you a star, you one of the main characters. Yeah. So man, that shit was eye opening, and it was gratifying, and you know. Yeah.
And you played that role too, man, because I'm telling you, nobody would have ever thought you was a dude, you know, came out the hood the way you were and everything. Yeah. In regards to the character you played, you know, you know what I'm saying? You played that role, man, to a T, you know what I'm saying?
And he was a nerd, supposedly.
That's what I'm saying, you know, nerd and everything like that. Yeah, that was dope. That was dope.
It was fun, man.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
That's dope. After that role, you know, then you started playing on more things. You know, you played on 3 Strikes.
3 Strikes.
You know what I'm saying? Lockdown with Master P, and a hood, you know, classic that we all love, no matter where you at, which is The Wood.
The Wood.
Stacy.
That's the one that everybody recognized me for. They love Stacy. They're like, man, Scully cool, but you always gonna be Stacy.
Stacy's the one, you know. Did you know what type of impact playing Stacy was gonna have?
Absolutely not. Yeah. Nope, not at all. I mean, and it's shocking because I'm really like, I'm doing it because first I'm getting paid, and it's another role. I'm trying to have a movie drop every year to build my resume and keep people, you know, interested in me. And then that movie right there, man, just changed my life, bro. You don't know the impact what you gonna do now gonna have later. Right now, they didn't know me back when I did The Wood. Even after it came out, you know, some people knew me. I stayed out, but once I went to prison and got out 10 years later, oh, bro, it was a whole nother experience. Wow. It was like, man, that hiatus and all the new generation is coming in now, and they know you, and people are giving me like all these flowers and accolades, and I'm recognizing it now. Wow. I can see it, you know what I mean? And it's a blessing, man. It's humbling, and I'm just thankful that I'm able to do it, man.
Yeah, real talk, real talk. Because the movie is such a classic, you know, in my head I'm thinking like y'all come together and stuff like that. So do you still have a relationship with like Omar Epps, Tay Diggs, and all of them? Like do y'all connect?
Nah, not really, because I've always been like this. I come to work, not to make friends and to be everybody, you know, be a groupie, basically. You know what I mean? Do we have a communication and did we treat each other with respect? Absolutely. But it wasn't nothing personal. Like I knew them or that I was trying, they knew me, or we sat down and had dinner and lunch and things like that. Never.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was work and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's what's up.
you know, I wish all the best for them brothers, man. I'm pretty sure they do the same for me.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Now, going back to Lockdown a little bit, which was a great movie. You know, I probably watched that movie at least 50 plus times.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when it come down to that movie though, it was like I believe you explained some damage that it did as well, because it was a part in it that affected you, that made you actually even cry. I believe you explained. What part was that, and can you explain, you know, why you went there?
It was the movie itself, I think it's one of my best acting performances, because I had an opportunity to showcase my skills and the range that I have. However, it was one scene where, you know, my character had to like basically get this rapist or a molester fellatio. Even though it's acting, it still touched me in a wrong way, like in a negative way. I did like, what does this have to do with the movie? Cause if somebody was to try to force me to give them head, I'm gonna bite your penis off, straight up.
Yeah.
Nigga, I'm not finna let you just dog me. You gonna be limped up out of here, dying up out of here, something.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I didn't like that scene at all. You know, and I told the director that, but he was like, man, you know, you already signed the contract as far as, you know, you knew what the character was gonna do. We just gonna shoot it one time, just give me one shot, man. After I did it, I walked away and went somewhere alone, and I shed tears, man. I was hurt. I felt like I did something that I shouldn't have done, or even though it wasn't real. Even though it's acting, it was like giving life to that shit, or condoning it, or believing that, you know, it could happen. And I didn't like that, bro. I hated that.
Wow.
To this day.
And that's the part I didn't know. So you actually tried to get that scene, that part taken out.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
But I couldn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The director, John Lesson, I was like, man, come on, man. This is just one shot, man. And it ain't real, because the guy was, he's down this way, but the camera, the angle, it looked like he right in front of me. He way away from me. He not even touching me, you know what I mean? But it still was dehumanizing, man. Like, emasculating me, basically, bro.
Gotcha.
I think that's what they try to do. They want to tear a nigga down. You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
So that you feel like that's how it is in Hollywood, you know?
I do believe when it come to us, it's somewhat like making mockery of God, since I know we his people. So it's like, if they can get us to do that, it's to shun God and say, yeah, look how we got your people.
Yeah.
And that makes them get off with their love, you know.
Yeah.
How they think. And
Yeah,
that's what I think it is.
Wow, man. Now, after doing that and playing that role, did it affect you afterwards? Like, did you deal with things after playing that role, or when it was done, it was done? It was done.
Once it was done, it was over. I didn't, it affected me at that time, and after I filmed it. But as far as me carrying it with me in the future and all, no, I let that go. Because I do realize it is acting. It wasn't real. So you know, I just let it go. I never do it again, though. You know what I mean? Because what I know now, I wish I would have known then. And I would have never done that scene.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the director, I didn't even have to audition for the part. Called me in, saw me in a television series called Touched by an Angel. And I did a performance that he admired so much, he just gave me the part.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I want you for this role. It's controversial. It got a little this, a little that. And I was like, shh, I'm trying to keep, this is my career.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's what I do. Hell yeah, I do. And I don't got all, yeah, man, I'm growing, I felt.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah, real talk. Did you have a personal relationship with Master P?
Master P is a great man. Business-minded, superb, man. He's not no one to play with when it comes to business. Because, you know, some people on the set was thinking they was a little bigger than they were. Coming to set late, you know, not taking things serious. And P called a meeting for everybody and said, look, man, I'll shut this motherfucker down right now. If you don't want to work, get off, go, and I start over. And I guess they got the picture, you know, because motherfuckers start being on time, and we got the picture done. And, you know, all in all, I still, to this day, I love that movie, man, except that one scene. But the movie was amazing, bro, acting-wise.
Yeah. Oh, no, it was great.
Yeah.
Like I said, I watched this movie over 50 times. You know what I'm saying? Y'all all acted, y'all asses off.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? And to be real, like, your character was the most powerful to me. Powerful.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? On that movie. So
I heard that a lot.
Yeah. Man, we be feeling, when you be acting, bro, it's different. Like, we be feeling, like, you could feel that you're feeling what you're going through in that movie when you act. It's different.
That's the
you know?
That's the key, man. You got to be able to tap into yourself, homie, and pull whatever may need to be out to make that believable.
Yeah.
To make it believable, you know what I mean? And as long as you're doing that, I feel like you're doing your job. If I can make you mad or believe that, my character just got raped or it's affecting you, then I'm doing my purpose.
Yeah.
What I'm supposed to do.
Real talk. Yeah.
Tapping into your emotions.
That's real.
Yeah,
definitely. Now, during the filming of Lockdown, did you like get shot or something happened where you were shot at?
I got shot 3 times right before filming Lockdown, and then I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Dudes came up, shot, and I got shot 3 times, man, and I kind of like played it off. I didn't even tell the production anything. I just went to work after, you know, and flew out there. And once the director found out, he let me keep the scene and keep the, you know, write the limp into my character, and, you know, yeah, man, that shit really happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. I mean, and you were kind of like going through, you know, ups and, you know, downs a little bit, man, which we all go through, you know what I'm saying? And you can kind of speak on it or not, but I think you also went through a situation where you had to deal with a little bit of, I don't know if you did some time for it or something, but you had a situation with a female where there was an incident, I don't know, domestic violence.
Yeah, domestic violence. My
Yeah.
ex-girlfriend, live-in girlfriend. We had an apartment together. She went in my pockets, found some numbers, got upset. One thing led to another. We got into it. She threw a crystal glass ashtray at me, and it missed. I walked up to her. She slapped me, and I hit her back. And I got a spousal abuse for that charge. And, you know, I wind up not really doing no time, but pleading no contest so I can get out.
Yeah.
Did around 3 months.
Yeah. Got you. Man, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, appreciate you for, you know, explaining that and everything. At this time, you know, where do you feel like you were at? You was on top, doing what you're doing with acting and everything like that, you know, in your 20s and everything as well, so still young. Where were you at this time mentally? You know, you was going through your ups and downs.
I was getting a big head, man. I didn't have no foundation to keep me, or no guidance to keep me grounded and show me the ropes. I was getting a little money, starting to work, doing high incident. I'm doing television shows, I'm doing movies. And, you know, I was feeling myself. I was feeling like, shit, I'm Pac. You know, that was my mentor. I'm thinking, I'm Pac. And, you know, that's where, you know, God came in and set me down. That's why I wound up doing them years, man. I needed to, because if I didn't, I know I'd be dead. Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Now, you know, and speaking on what you were just speaking on, you know, as everything was moving forward, and things were, you know, on the filming side going great, you were actually working with one of the greatest actors of all time, Denzel Washington, you know, on the film Antoine Fisher, right?
I had booked Antoine Fisher.
Yeah.
Yup. And never got a chance to film it though, because I went to prison.
Yeah.
Like a week before we was to start filming.
Yeah. Basically, like during the filming, there was a life-changing event that happened with your sister's boyfriend or something like that in 2001. Do you mind explaining what happened?
My auntie's boyfriend.
Your auntie, your auntie. Yeah. I apologize for that. Yeah.
I had booked the movie with Denzel. I was happy. I was celebrating with one of my homeboys, and we had been up all night. Chilling, was, you know, doing our thing, and I went over to my auntie house just to stop by like I always did, check on them. If they needed anything, I'd take care of them. But this morning, her boyfriend had came off the stairs and approached me like, why am I playing music so loud, pulling up in front of the house? And I thought he was joking. Because I'm like, we never had no issues and no kind of confrontation. So, but he wasn't. I guess he was going through some things in his life at that time, and I pulled up, and he didn't like what he saw and got a little jealous maybe, and he approached me and got physical with me. I tried to fight him, but I couldn't. He was getting the best of me. Knocked me down. I get up, he knocked me down again. Next thing you know, I went in the house, grabbed me a knife, came back out. He came at me again, and I stabbed him, and he died.
Wow.
Yeah. And I stayed there with him, trying to help him, you know, and because that wasn't my intent. You know, I'm in a great place in my life at that time, as far as, you know, I'm doing what I dream. I'm being successful. I'm having things. I just booked another movie. I'm booking movie at the movie each year, and then for somebody to come, I didn't expect that, but you know, it happened. Yeah.
And you know, after the situation, you know, during the trial and everything, you actually had a lot of people come out and support you, like Denzel, you know, your family, even the victim's family, you know.
The victim family, no one in the courtroom was against me. No one, not one person stood up and said, he's nothing, because, you know, they knew who I am. They know who I am, and they knew who I was at that time. And that's not my character. I wasn't looking for nothing wrong. I didn't want nothing to happen with anyone, let alone, you know, who it happened with, my auntie boyfriend. You know, he was cool, you know what I mean? But, man, it was terrible, bro. It was a nightmare. I thought I was dreaming. Like, actually, like, man, is this a dream? And it wasn't.
Yeah.
So I had to face the music, man. I waited. Police came, handcuffed me, put me in a car, took me to the station, and I wound up falling asleep in holding cell because I was inebriated. And when I woke up, I was still there. So I was like, damn, this shit is real.
Yeah, real talk. Wow. And so even though you had all the support of everybody, you know, and everything like that, you still end up getting 9-10 years. You know,
I got 11.
11 years.
Yeah, 85%.
Wow.
I had a trial and jury. I had a jury trial, but the judge dismissed my jury when they didn't find me guilty of first or second degree murder. They found me guilty of the lesser charge, which was manslaughter. So my maximum sentence that I was supposed to get, being that I had a jury trial, was 7 years, midterm. The judge dismissed my jury and maxed me out and gave me the maximum, which if I would have appealed at that time, they would have overturned that and gave me the midterm. But I didn't want to go through that again with my family and all that trial and all that, man. That shit was crazy.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I'm not saying this to say, you know, when we do things, we don't have to face, you know, the consequences from our actions, but you know, situations like that show you how the system go against us as black men with situations like that. Like you dismiss the jury to, you know, kind of like make that determination, and you decide to put that on you, you know, and the max is 7 and you give me 11.
Yeah.
Damn.
He did that, man. Commissioner Paul M. Enright. I'll never forget that dude. Yeah.
That's deep. So now you serving your time and everything like that. 25 years old. What was going on? Did you like get tested while up in there?
Hell yeah, I got tested. Being an actor too, and on the main line, I don't gang bang. I didn't have no cord or nobody I could, you know, lean on for support and help and backup. Man, I remember dudes was trying to tell me if I pay them, they'll protect me. I'm not paying nobody nothing. Only one gonna protect me is God. If you feel like you gonna try something, try. And they tried, and they all failed. Ain't nobody got me in jail on nothing. I don't even think I got my ass whooped in jail except one time, and it took about 3 dudes to do that. Wow. Yeah, so.
Wow. Did you ever have to go through like any like race wars or anything? Like, was you a part of those?
Riots, yeah. Riots, a couple.
Yeah. Wow. And also while you was in prison, I think you went through getting your jaw broke.
I got my jaw broke. What was I was in Ironwood, I think. I was in Ironwood, man. I got my jaw broke.
Yeah.
Dude, dope fiend me. From the back, best way you can get him. That's the best way he should have got me. You know what I mean? Because any other way, he wouldn't have got me. I wasn't looking, wasn't paying attention. Broke my jaw, man.
Yeah.
Had my shit wired for like 3 months.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow. Crazy, man. And also, now, you know, I've had I don't know if this happened or not. I just want to mention it, but I had you know, Bosco 100 here, you know, the other day, and I was actually listening to one of his videos, and he explained, like, you know, I guess he was locked up with you for a little bit of, you know, time, and he explained that you was like really into like gambling and stuff like that while in prison as well. It was kind of like your thing, almost. I don't know if an addiction or what, but like, was that true or?
Passing time. What was it? Poker.
Yeah.
Everybody was sick. If you got money, you want to play poker.
Okay.
You know what I mean? To pass your time, the whole day go by fast. You winning, you losing, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I gambled. I drank. I had my own manufacturer that made my Pruno and burned it and made my lightning. I paid him every week or every other week. You know, for canteen, well, it was once a month. Yeah, once a month I pay him. Yeah. And yeah, man, I was just trying to pass time, man, make it through that motherfucker. I had all the weed, I had all the drink. I was gambling, and I was doing my time.
Nah, I feel you, man.
Yeah.
Do you remember Bosco when you was locked up, or you don't really remember him up in?
Nah.
Okay,
Not
got
really.
you. So eventually you end up getting out, man. So what was that like, man? After spending so many years, locked up in prison, what was that like when you first got out? I know the world was different.
It was totally fast, bro. Everything was super fast. I was scared. I was nervous. I didn't like motherfuckers moving around me too quick. And everybody was moving. The colors were bright, the youth, the clothes, everything was different, man. Wow. It was like, it was scary kind of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But,
wow.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy. I wouldn't do, I thank God I don't have to do it anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I learned a lot, applied it to my life, and I'm moving accordingly. You know what I mean? I'm not going to slip up and make no more errors.
Yeah.
And I'm not falling for none.
Real talk. So when you went in, it was like 2001. I don't think cell phones was really like, that popular at that time. When you got out, cell phones is like one of the, you gotta have one, right? Was that kind of crazy to you? Like, people walking around, their heads down, cell phone, yeah.
I had a cell phone. I got my first phone in 08.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe I made it down to a level 2 from a level 3. Went down to a level 2, which was a less secure prison, so it was a little more open. Drugs everywhere, cell phone. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that shit. I'm sitting on the phone and I got a girl dancing in front of me and all that shit. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
$400-$500 for a phone that cost $15
at that time. Yeah. Wow, crazy. Now, did you immediately start acting, or it took a little time when you got out?
No, I immediately started acting. The first audition I went on when I got out, I booked it. It was Gangster Squad.
Yeah.
No, it was not Gangster Squad. It was Rizzoli and Owls, the television show. That was the first audition I did, and then after that I auditioned for Gangster Squad and booked that one. So I got right back into it, man.
Wow, same agent and everything, or?
Same agent and everything.
Dope. Wow. So not just Gangster Squad, but after that you did Imperial Dreams with John Boyega, right?
John Boyega.
Another hit. You know what I'm saying? Great movie, and everything. That was actually, around that time when that came out, man, I was like, man, that was one of my favorite movies, man. That was, a big one right there.
It was a deep movie. It had a hell of a storyline, man. You know? And it was based on a true story. I was locked up with the brother that wrote that movie. He told me, man, he's like, man, I'm writing a movie. We was locked up in Ironwood. And I was like, yeah, I used to hear that a lot. I'm writing a movie, I'm doing this. But, you don't take people serious. But this brother, when he got out and when I got out, I went and auditioned for that movie. I see him. He was like, DeAndre. I was like, yeah. He's like, what's up, man? I'm like, man, I'm here to audition for this movie, Imperial Dreams. He said, that's my movie. You don't remember I told you? I was like, man, that's what's up. And I wound up getting the part, man.
Wow, that's dope, man. That's crazy. You don't really hear stuff like that, but it show you it was meant.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Bro. Yeah.
Especially when you're doing something that you have a passion for and you believe in yourself. Speak it and move on what it takes. Put the energy necessary in it to make it manifest and come to pass. That's what it is. Real talk.
And then you did Dope, where you played Stacy again. Like how did that feel playing Stacy again? Was it just natural, or what was your thoughts on that?
I didn't. It was cool. The Rick Famuyiwa, the director of The Wood, made Dope, and he wanted me to come back as Stacy, a little older, a school security guard, not necessarily gang banging no more. Then evolved a little bit, and I was grateful to do it. I was thankful to be able to, play Stacy again. Stacy.
Yeah. Natural too. I think ASAP was on that too, right? ASAP Rocky.
ASAP Rocky
You
did
know.
a hell of a job too.
Yeah. How did you really get to like
I
bond
didn't
with
get to meet him.
Okay.
But we worked on different days and times. You know, movie filming is crazy.
Yeah.
One week you hear, the next day they filming, acting like you know, it's funny, man.
Yeah. Real talk. Then a little bit after that, I don't, you know, and I understand, you know, if you was probably going through things, because even though, like I said, you had a lot of ups with your movies, it probably were things that, you know, you're battling. I don't know, but you then a little bit after that put out a video. I guess you were crying or something letting out a lot of emotions. You know,
I was going through some tough times at that time, as far as reestablishing myself out here and not having it the way that I once did before all that, and people trying to test me, and I was like, man, I don't want to go back to prison, you know what I mean? I don't want to have to do nothing to nobody. And I was just venting, man, like, leave me the fuck alone, man. Stay away from me. Get out of my way. I ain't got nothing against none of you, and I'm not playing. And yeah, man, I recorded it and put it out there, and the shit went viral.
Yeah, it definitely went viral. Yeah, I could definitely tell. You know, which a lot of us who come from, you know, those areas are. You know, you wear your heart on your sleeve. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that day for sure, man. And I think I do all the time. I'm not ashamed to say that. You know, man, I know who I am. So. Yeah. Real talk.
And sometime after that, you had to go back to prison for 21 months. I guess you had a knife, or what kind of happened?
I had a knife and was carrying it. I had 2 knives, actually, kitchen knives, and they was in my waistband. And police pulled me over and found it. And I got arrested. I was on parole. They violated my parole, gave me a new charge, carrying a concealed dirk or dagger, and they were trying to give me like 17 years for that shit.
17?
Yeah. So I was like, man, I'm not about to play with these people. They said they'd give me 32 months with half, and that's what I took. So I did like 20 months off that.
Wow. Especially after going through a situation where you had to go to trial, and you know that happened and everything. So you're just like, not again, huh?
No, I'm not about to play with these people. I got a son now, I got a girl. I just want to get through this, get up out of here, and get back to them. So whatever I had to go through to do that's what I did. I did 21 months, knocked that shit out, got out, and I ain't been back since.
Man. Real talk. You know, so when you get out that time, like, where did your life? You got back into acting again.
Absolutely.
But where was you at mentally? You know, after getting out this time, you know, with everything.
I was more focused because I was like, damn, I almost fucked up again, bro. I almost lost my life again. I can't be slipping like this, man. You know what I mean? And I was just like focused on my son, man, on my family. Yeah. That's what really kept me right. And I started thinking before I do.
Yeah. Wow. That's important, man. And when did you have your son? You have a son, you said? Your son?
Yeah.
When did you have him? Like, how old is your son?
2014.
2014.
Yeah. Okay,
that's what's up. That's what's up. How did that feel, becoming a father for the first time?
For the first time, that was amazing, man. It was something that I've always dreamt of as well. Like, man, I want to be a dad one day. You know, I didn't know what it was going to take, but it was a blessing, bro. Like, to be able to finally manifest that and be blessed with my son, open my eyes, soften my heart, intrigued me, made me think harder, work harder, and I had something more than myself to live for.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my man.
That's what's up, man. Definitely. Then eventually comes Snowfall, and you book the character Scully. You know, you know, you back at the top of your game, one of the biggest TV shows. How did it feel to book Snowfall, and did you think that your characters was gonna end up being as big as it became?
Well, when I did the 21 months, Snowfall had just came out. So in that time that I was down, I was able to catch season 2. And I was like, damn, this TV show is hard. And it's John Singleton. And I knew John Singleton. I had a relationship as far as not a relationship, but we knew one another. He knew me, seen me on the set of The Wood one day, and was like, man, I got something for you. And I never found out what that was because I wound up going to prison. But this time when I seen Snowfall and I saw John was the executive producer and the creator, I said, man, I'm going to get out and get on that shit.
Yeah.
I said it, man. I told everybody I'm about to get on that show.
Yeah.
And I got out, got a interview to do an audition for John for Snowfall. Went, read, and booked the show, man, on my birthday, March 19th, 2019.
Man, amazing. What was it like working with the legend, John Singleton, man?
Absolutely breathtaking, man. Like, just in awe. The brother's so great. He was like an angel, bro, for us as a people. You know what I mean? As much as everything he touched turned to platinum, bro. If he touched you, you was gonna be something. And I'm thankful he touched me, you know what I mean, and gave me an opportunity and looked over the things that, you know, people try to hold you down for and say, you know what, this man just needs another opportunity. And he blessed me with one, and I'm thankful forever to him for that. Love him, rest his soul. He's in my heart all the time. I think about him all the time. And yeah, man, that was a blessing.
Yeah, real talk. And as we know, he eventually, you know, had a stroke and, you know, passed away sometime, you know, after that. You know, having a personal relationship with him, you know, being on one of his shows and everything, like what went through, you know, your head and your mind and everything when this happened, you know, to John Singleton?
I couldn't believe it. It was crazy, man. Like, it broke my heart. Like, literally, my heart still is broken up because of that, man, you know? That brother was amazing, man. There's no words that I could say that are great enough to describe him and just his spirit, his mind, his love for us, his people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, you know, it's not too many brothers like that.
Yeah.
They come far and in between.
Yeah, man. Yeah, another legend, man. Rest in peace, John Singleton.
Yes,
I mean, this is the guy who did Boys in the Hood.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
On,
something that 100 years from now, people will be watching.
We'll be watching everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, people going always.
Oh yeah, everything.
Yes,
you know, definitely. So, now I don't know if it was like a war on the TV shows and everything like that, but you had a small, like, you know, beef with 50 Cent at one point. What was that about?
I never had no beef with 50 Cent, man. People crazy.
What was the issue?
I think 50 threw me a lob, and I jumped up and caught it.
Yeah.
Dunked it, because 50 always, you know, he'll test you to see if you wise enough to move on it. You know what I mean? Just by him acknowledging and responding to some things I said, and it wasn't necessarily directed at him. It was just me being, you know, funny, man. It was like, man, if you don't want the director, executive producer all in the movie screen, all on the television show, you know what I mean? Come to Snowfall. Because we was battling as far as our crafts are concerned. Like, he got power, we on Snowfall. So it's a friendly, it's a respectful, you know, battle.
Yeah.
But 50 so ahead of that shit, man, and bigger than that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he only did that to help me get some more acknowledgement and love, man, and I appreciate him. I don't got nothing against 50. Love you, 50. You a real nigga, man. Get me on power.
Man, you know, shout out to 50 doing this thing. He killing it right now too, man.
He doing
you
this
know,
shit, man.
For real, man. Yeah. Now I don't know if it was because you didn't, you know, feel embraced or whatever, but I believe you also said something slightly about Terrence Howard. You know how you didn't really feel the love there and everything like that.
And that was my bro, man. We did Sunset Park together, so we always had a cool relationship, even off the set. You know, we kick it. I know his family met us. And when I went through that time, a lot of people reached out to me, even if it was just to say, keep your head up, bro. I would have loved to hear from Terrence, man. Anything, man. Like, you know, you thought about knock this shit out, get back out here. But it ain't nothing personal, you know what I mean? He didn't have to. He wasn't obligated to do that for nobody, let alone me.
Yeah.
You know, I just be like, man, you'll know who your real people are once you really endure some things like that.
Yeah.
And I felt, you know, I expected a little bit more, maybe a little bit, not even much, and never received it. So I'm like, man, you know what? Do your thing, man.
Yeah. Real talk.
No hard feelings. Keep pushing. Do you?
Yeah. To this day, have y'all spoke yet or anything?
I don't want to talk to him either.
Yeah, got you. Now, currently, when it come down to Snowfall, man, so what's going on right now? You still playing a role of Scully and everything, or?
We just wrapped Snowfall, so season 6, the last season.
Yeah.
So I'm in it, you know. Scully gonna be doing his thing. Stay tuned. I can't really speak too much about, but it's gonna be a way crazy fire season, man. Wow. I'm telling you, man, we going out with a bizang.
Wow. So this is the one. The one that's coming.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yep.
That's crazy, man. Is there any other projects you working on or anything? Or?
I got a marijuana strain coming out called Stacy OG. You know,
smart.
And, me and my brothers, you know, we collaborated and made our own strain. It's like almost 2 years now, but we almost done. In March or July, we'd be done. And, you know, I got a movie that's being written about my life story that I'm going to direct and produce. And that's being done. That's this year, we're going to knock that out.
Yeah.
You know, I got some little clothes, you know, things that I'm doing, grind till we rich. I got, you know, I hope you niggas don't want to follow me for this, tees and sweaties and hoodies. And, you know, I'm just independent, man, grinding, man.
That's what's up.
Taking this energy and this talent and just making something out of nothing, man.
Man, that's where you at right now. Nothing to something, you know what I'm saying? That's the way to do it, real talk.
Yes.
You know, DeAndre, you know, you've been through a lot and you made it through a lot. You know, you hit the lowest of lows and got back on the top. You know, what is something you could say to a young man out here who come from where you come from, you know, that want to act or whatever, and feel like, you know, I can't just get to where I'm trying to get to in life and may want to give up. What is something that you could say to that young dude?
What I would say is never give up. Ain't no such thing as giving up. It's too simple and easy to give up. If you have a dream, a passion, a love for something and you want it, go for it. Don't let nobody tell you no. Don't be denied. And believe in yourself. Trust in your abilities and your God-given will and strength. And move on that, man. It's nothing that can stop me. I don't care what it is, from bullets to prison to, you know, hatred, jealousy. That shit don't even affect me. And it'll come a point in time in your life when you endure through that and you push through that you'll recognize can't nothing stop you either. Can't nothing prevent you from being who you are and who you want to be. You know, man, don't never give up.
Man.
Trust the process.
Heard it from the guy. Heard it from the guy right here, DeAndre Bonds. Man, before we get out of here, any shout out to anything like that? You know, let the people know what's up.
Shout out to my family, man, all my brothers, man, Pac, Dank, Ken Glover, you already know. Baby Tyson, my mother, my cousins, man, I love y'all, man. Without y'all motivate me, man. Y'all keep me going. Y'all push me. My son, my fiance. Man, I do all this for y'all, man. Let's get it. It's 2023. This our year. From here forward, I swear to God, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure we never have to fucking worry about nothing else.
Man, heard it from the one and only DeAndre Bonds, man. Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you too, my brother. Thank you very much, man.
Man, appreciate you. It's your boy Paul P. DeAndre Bonds. Love you all. We are out of here. Deuces.
I gave up and stopped believing.